Okay, here we are on a beautiful thunderstormy kind of day here in Northwest Florida to kick off the Summer Showdown course critiques for Friday, September 1st. That's right, guys, we have now moved into fall. Anyway, we're going to start today with the Bearded Pelican Golf Links by Erickson Stone, aka Patrick Lawless. Before I do any of these, I always try to point out that since this is kind of geared towards CC, I will be playing with player clubs instead of tour clubs. I ordinarily use tour clubs. Likewise, my score is not indicative of any part of the judging at all, and in no way is relative to whether it's a CC appropriate course or not. Sometimes I play well, sometimes I play poorly, so usually poorly. Most importantly, as we go through these streams, I'm going to be making comments. Some of them, if they're technical issues, I'm going to point them out as being technical issues, and the judges are going to see it the same way and probably be a little bit meaner about it than I'm going to be. Other comments I have are nothing more than opinions. I'm a designer as well. I may not be a great one, but I still have that designer's eyeball. So I'm going to point things out along the way that I might do a little bit differently that I think might either help the playability or the looks of the course. Nothing I say is meant to be offensive or negative, so if you feel that way about it, just agree to disagree and, take it for what it's worth. Please don't come back onto the forums, getting into course threads and complaining about how mean I am, or start sending me a bunch of nasty little PMs. Nothing good ever comes out of any of that. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the Bearded Pelican. And while I'm getting this stuff set up, we have now officially kickstarted the TGCT After Dark Society. What do you say, Clint? That will be going on PS4 and on PC. I now have it officially set up on both of them. So if you're looking for a fun society where we don't take ourselves too seriously and playing some good courses, then go ahead and sign up. Bring your friends, bring your parents, bring your kids. It's all great. Also, TGCT After Dark is on every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern, so be sure and check in and see what we have to say, which you never know what it's going to be. Just heard Jive's course named by you. Oh, the Parque de Golf. Viva la Mexico y Chimichangas? Yeah, it's I try to have a little bit of fun with these. I think Patrick said he wanted us to play the gold tees in pin number 1, if I'm not mistaken. I'm a little bit late getting around on these today because I had a couple of real life work things I had to get done first thing this morning, and then we added an extra week onto the schedule, so I had to find a couple of new courses, which meant I had to play. I really didn't want to, but I did. And then I set up the society stuff. So, yeah, pin 1 in gold. I actually got it right for a change. A couple of messages here I need to I've actually got a design question going on here. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Oh, it's a video. This is by Big Taco. Okay, I'm going to have to... give me one sec, guys. Yeah, this is off to a fast start. What's my other message? Somehow I think it's going to be from Clint. Nope. Not from Clint. It's from Jeff. Smiling Goats. Sorry, that was actually important. That was actually important. Okay, now we can get into this. So this is the bearded pelican. I think Patrick's been using splines, or he listened to me a little bit. I think he already knows what I'm going to say about some of his stuff before he ever puts it in. So it looks like he avoided some of that. That's a good looking opening shot right there. Yeah, it's a good looking opening shot. Raised up the back end of his bunkers just enough to show him off from the tee box. I have mentioned this on several streams now, so this is a good example of what I'm talking about. Instead of leaving those just flat down into the ground, just raise up that back end a little bit, give your bunker a little bit of depth, and show it off from the tee box. So I'm kind of digging that. It's a nice hole there, Patrick. Ooh, 15-mile-an-hour winds. Shit, right in my landing zone. Oh. Uh-oh. This is 475, so I really don't want to club down. What do you say, Big Taco? I just got your message. I just responded to it. Um, Man, I don't have an easy answer for you just based on the little video that you give. As designer, I would not use heavy rough over the entire plot. Play around with different brushes and different angles off of your fairway going into your heavy rough and just kind of blend it in. You can really make Delta theme shine if you use kind of that rough look that it gets on the outer perimeters, but so you don't necessarily want to like wipe it all out unless that's what your course calls for. I know like Han and Scarpacci did do that on their Valle de los Reyes courses. So it's not horrible to do it if you want a very parkland, country club look going to it. But if you're wanting that wilder look, you're just going to have to play around with some different brushes. I use the circle brush quite a bit. Just play around with it and learn how to blend that heavy rough into it. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it can be done. Damn, guys, I'm feeling like I'm kind of screwed on this one right here. Off this tee box with that wind right there, ooh, mercy. And this is a long opening hole. That's 475 yards, so I really don't want to go down to 3 wood and have a really massive shot coming into this. So let's just see what happens. See what bunker I can land in. Of course, fast downswing may have saved my ass. Whew. I have not had fast downswings going at all this morning, but so I did right there. So yeah, I want to be careful on that, Patrick, of shrinking that zone that much, man. When you're forcing somebody to go down to 3 wood, and that's going to be completely wind dependent as to whether they have to or not, then you're bringing 200 yards with the front pin location into it pretty quick. Maybe I can get lucky and start off here with a birdie. These are 155s. There we go. Hit that just hard enough to get it in. That right hand lip. Hate some of those breakers on 5 and 6 foot putts or 5 or 6 foot putts now, man. Another great looking hole in concept right here. To be honest, I probably would have raised this side up here and let my camber be from the right, flowing this way. And there's nothing wrong with what's done right here. And I only say that because where this edge right here is, that's such a rough, rugged edge that you hit that, you're automatically in the rough. So you're going to take a good shot and you're going to kick somebody in the rough over here into a very bad spot. So based on the distance you're dealing with and all that, damn, another long opening par 4. This just needs to be smoother in through here because everything that's done on the sculpting right here on this outer right hand edge is going to move the ball over here. I don't believe in punishing somebody for a good shot, especially given the distance of the hole. I mean, of course, I'm looking at it from being a little bit further away. I think there's like one more tee set behind it, but once again, depending on your wind, you get that 14 miles an hour blowing back in your face. Becomes a viable landing area. So just want to be careful with the sculpting here. Well, that really good looking hole. Probably lower this side of the fairway a little bit just to show your bunker off. You've got a really nice bunker back here. This is really great work on setting this bunker in right here. Fantastic work, and you've hidden it from your shot. So just to either raise that green complex up a little bit or lower your fairway. I actually probably lower the fairway just because of the distance of it. But other than that, really good looking concept and hole right here. Damnation, man. We are just getting all up in some wind this morning, aren't we? Fucking a fast downswing. Can't do anything about the swing. Nothing I can do about it. That hasn't been fast all morning. I'm actually doing that quite slow. I'm surprised I'm not getting slow down swings out of it. So I don't know what the hell else to do anymore. There. A shitty flop right there. Pretty tame greens. I can dig it. I like the fact that he didn't overblow the greens. Given that length of shot right there, he kept the greens pretty tame. So he made smart choices on what he was made smart choices with picking where he's going to make things hard. Yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy. I mean, that's about what the average is. I always go into it knowing there's going to be somebody that doesn't finish, and we have 5 people just completely disappear from the moment they signed up. Obviously, we always want a full turnout because it just makes the brackets more engaging and gives a fair shot to everybody. Now you got people who are going to get a free pass. Moving on, but I can live with it. It's better than having 12 people not publish, right? Yeah, kind of the same thing. You went a little bit too high on the hill right here. Either raise your green complex or lower your hill. That way you can show that off. That's really good work up in there that you're just completely hiding. I'm not crazy about the ridge right here because in this landing area, same thing. We've got basically a hill running right down the middle of this landing area. So this is going to have a tendency to knock the ball left or right off of it. So if this is smoother from the top, smoother it and lower it, coming off down there, it's just a lot better look and it's a lot cleaner to play. That's a little bit of a playability thing right there. Fuck. These fucking 5-foot putts, man. These used to be automatic, and now then, I mean, this is, God, just fucking infuriating. On that putt, I shouldn't, and this is not on Ericsson, this is just some of the shit that's going on in the game. I shouldn't have to go a cup and a half outside that cup on a 5-foot putt. That's stupid. Yeah, I haven't given your course a look yet, Clint. I'm going to plow through these the next 3 days, so by Sunday night, I should have these wrapped up. Yeah, pretty cool looking thing. It definitely has, I think the course name fits the course, so I think he's done a pretty good job with that. I like to think this is a possible birdie here, but given where my putts go, I don't know. I mean, I've got like one little bead right there, so maybe I need to aim over the other side of those bunkers to make this fucking putt. Yeah, it happens, man. When you start getting some of the bend in on those 3-footers, don't usually get me, but 4, 5, and 6-footers, 4-footers even used to get me a little bit in TGC one. I mean, it wasn't as bad as what the peanut gallery is going to make you think it was, but every once in a while, I'll pull a doozy out of my ass. But I didn't miss 5 and 6-footers hardly ever at all. And right now, I'd almost rather have a putt at 8 or 9 feet than I would 5 or 6 feet. So this is a shorter par 4. He's made it to where it's tempting to drive it off the tee box with tour clubs. With player clubs, you're going to have to pick and choose where you want to go here, so I don't mind that. And course management tells me, especially with 13-mile-an-hour wind, we're just not going to fuck with that with a driver. Course or the hole's too short to play with that rough over there, and it probably would end up in the rough. Cool looking hole. Done a little bit of wall work right there to pull his beach off. So it could be a little bit cleaner with the outer edges. He might be in that camp that doesn't pay a lot of attention to it. I tend to. So, yep, all in all, nice hole concept. I like it. That sounded like my club farted whenever it came off right there. That's funny. And another one of these 5-footers right here. I have no clue where that's going to fucking break. Yeah, that's nice contouring coming in there, Patrick. I like it. I like it. That's nice and clean. Damn, almost missed that low right there. I mean, with it being downhill like that, you can't really try to put it through the break. quite as much, because if you miss it, then the ball's going to roll out significantly right there. And for whatever reason in this game, I just cannot convince myself to keep on going further and further out to the left on those putts. I guess eventually I'm going to get over that mental stumbling block, but it just looks like I'm going to miss it high if I do. Yeah, this is nice off the tee. I know this is a links course, so you know you have kind of the humps and bumps and everything else. But I'd pick and choose where I try to make it look rugged and not. I'd be a little bit more smooth from the top of this hill to the top of your hill you have right there. Let it be a little bit more smooth on that rise. It just helps with some of the kicks, and especially like over here on your edges. I'd be very careful about how rough I am around the edges. As far as my sculpting goes, I try to make that as smooth as I possibly can, even if you're bringing some hills and stuff into play. Only because when you start creating these rough edges, any ball that lands there is going to start getting like weird kicks. And once again, I mean, you don't want to overdo the punishment sometimes. So that just kind of hopped up and then kicked to the right on me. If that ball's coming there a little bit lower, then somebody hits in the fairway and they're going to end up in the rough on something that, in my opinion, would be a little bit overly penal. Oh, shit. I'm probably making a mistake lofting this, but I'd rather leave it long here than leave it long than short. All my dangers here in front of it. So, good looking hole here, Patrick. I like the look of the other green behind this one over there. Got a nice flow to it. Of course it's fast. Of course. Because that was the worst possible thing that could happen to me right there, was for it to be fast. This is all rolling downhill right here. Nice. Yes, that was on purpose. I couldn't air that one out any at all, or it was going to fly, man. It was going to fly. Oh, shit. I'll be back in about 45 seconds. I got to feed my fish. I just realized it's almost 1 o'clock. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Fish were all looking at me with mean faces. After that, I usually feed them at noon every day, so they're getting off. Nope, didn't catch that. To be honest, I caught the Cubs Pirates or Cubs Braves score, and beyond that, it was college football night for me last night. So I watched the Arkansas Florida A&M game, and then watched a little bit of Indiana and Ohio State, hoping Ohio State was going to get their shit pushed in. I was going to laugh my ass off, but roster talent just overcame that. No, they definitely need to do something. I know they've had a good season and everything else, but their pitching staff is not built for a postseason run. Not in my opinion, anyway. I could be proven wrong, but that offensive firepower tends to get shut down a little bit when you face a team that's got three top end starters at the front side. Yeah, that's kind of a neat hole right here. Kind of a neat hole. Would have liked if he would have brought some of this planting that he has over here around in this area as well. Would have framed it a little bit. It starts getting a little bit too open. I see where he's done the sculpting and contouring, kind of break it up, and it works. But just a little bit of planting over there, kind of between the one hill right here on the left and the one that's over there in the distance. Just a little bit right there to even that out. But all in all, really good look to it. Whew, that's a mean putt right there. Thought I had that one. Did not think it was going to go high on me. Be a little bit more smooth in some of your contouring on your fairway here. Once again, I realize this is a links course, so the rule is you can have some humps and bumps and all that, but I wouldn't be excessive with it. I'd still try to have overall a clean look to it, especially when you're getting around a lot of these landing areas that are pinched just a little bit. I just don't think it's fair to the player that they're hitting good shots into something that's a little bit more narrow right there and have no clue where the ball's going to go because of it. So just be careful. I'm going to make a mistake and go for this right here because if that actually gets up there on the front of the green, that's going to work out. Thought it might hit and die right there on the front of the green, but it's going to roll out enough to where I at least got a chance for eagle and to get it up there close for birdie. So at least gave me a chance. A cool little par 5. There's a lot of movement in these greens. He hasn't used excessive red and yellow on the contouring. In some places he probably could, and it would help just because it would help move the ball into it, but he does have a lot of movement on the greens. So that's going to move quite a bit to the left right off there and start coming back. So I don't know how far to... Yeah, damn, I had the line. I just need a little bit more right there. I had the line. Can't complain about that from 54 feet out with the brake on it. With some of the brake he has going into the pin, you definitely want to try to stick it in there close. You'll have to look at the greens and see where they're running as to what area you want to place your ball in. Well, this could be interesting. I'll get to that green whenever I get up here in 1 second. Damn. The bad thing is the angle that I need is actually right there on the right, but I'm not going to go for it on the right. But just looking at that green and where the pin is, you'd actually want to play your ball out over here. That gives you the best angle. But over here is going to be the safer play. It's not that you have a bad angle there, it's just not as safe. I'm not crazy about the shelf right here. Not that having the tier right there is a bad idea. Here's my two issues with it. One just being the distance. I mean, the hole feels like it plays shorter than 481 yards, but you go into this knowing that you're going to have a longer shot into it, so you're getting a pretty small landing area. That in and of itself doesn't necessarily bother me. You've got to be careful using this type of shelving on this side of it along with something this big, because at this distance and with the rollout, if you catch this, it's naturally going to push the ball, and it could conceivably be pretty hard to stop it from hitting this and rolling off. So probably a little bit over punishment right there. You don't need that much slope on the left. Now, the problem with the ridge is that it's too linear. I mean, it just runs straight up and down the green, and it makes no sense right here at the front. This right here makes no sense from an actual real golf course standpoint. You really wouldn't see this. That shelf on the other side of this area you've got right here, it works because it uses to feed the ball. People can play the ball over here and use it to feed into a tighter area right there. So it works there, but it almost needs to run in a curve from here and then back up and then back around. It almost needs to encase that little area over here versus run right down the middle of your green. And it's not right down the middle, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's just too linear, and especially up here at the front. I don't like this up here at the front. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Clint. It needs to be off this point right here and let it run that way, and probably kept this over here a little bit higher, and then let it be a back feed going down. But you've also got to be careful of that because it's a small landing area on a long shot. So, I mean, you put a front pin up there, it's one thing to have a little bit danger long, but when it's naturally going to go long based on wind and distance, I mean, you have to pick and choose where you're going to do things like this. On shorter holes, a lot less criticism. On longer holes, just have to be careful. Just have to be careful where you're picking and choosing here. And that still went longer than I thought it was going to. I wanted it to be a little bit behind the hole, but I didn't want it to go that damn far. I guess I shouldn't have de-lofted any right there. That's just playing safe. I'm not going to be too aggressive on that one running downhill like that. If it gains a head of steam, it's going to go down. You can see the break in the green right there. I don't want to have 13, 14 feet coming back in that. Bad enough at 5 feet. You also don't want to overdo your bunker in the middle of a landing zone thing. So use it here and there. Just be careful how often you try to go to that theme. It can get a little bit tedious playing left and right of center every hole. I know you haven't done it every hole, but you've done it enough that it obviously made me think. But what you've done is good. Just don't keep doing it too often. I mean, this is at least 3, 4 holes that I know that we've had to do this on. Man, I don't like that. I mean, your bunkering looks good. Probably would have gone with something than brick inside there, but that's just me. I would have gone with something wooden, whether it be retaining wall or like wooden steps or something. I think that would have been a lot better look, but that's just a personal thing. It's not nothing wrong with what he's done there. What's up, Matt? Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you finally let these guys put it back on the air, man. Whew, shit. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Same thing. I knew I was going to come in short there, but I'd rather leave it there than move it way back up that ridge. My thought on that shot was that if I hit that too long, that I get back here and hit this with any kind of speed and hit that ridge and it rolls out. And it just keeps rolling off back over here. So I'd rather hit this short and play it in on a chip than give myself a legitimate chance at par here instead of go for it and bring bogey into play. Good looking hole there, Patrick. Like I said, the only thing I'd say is be careful about those fairway bunkers of doing that over and over and over again. Pick and choose where you're going to do it. A little bit of ridge there in the front. I don't mind that one so much. That can create some interesting holes. I like the flow of this, what he's done. I mean, I realize it's a par 3, but the way he's brought his apron out and made a fairway cut here, where he started over here and given it a lot of right to left movement, but then he brings your eyeballs back and then cuts it back right to left. So that's kind of an interesting. That's like one of those subtle things that your mind registers without you consciously like picking it up, but that's creates a nice flow of the hole. I'm gonna try something here. There we go. Just want to make sure I could get over that lip. My hope was that if that was a little bit short coming in because of the wind, that I could at least catch it, right there on that down slope and let the ball feed. And if I carried that ridge, that I wouldn't just completely fly the green. So, cool little shot right there. Gives you a couple of different ways to play that. Because you can play that short right there and just let it feed down into that ridge and let the ridge carry it down to the putting thing there. So, I wouldn't have guessed this tropical. I really didn't even look at the theme before I launch it up. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I would have guessed this Highlands all the way, just based on the look. So pretty neat. Watch and see how far this thing swings right to left. It's not showing me. I'm not picking a lot of it up from behind here. It just has that feel like it's about to break a lot right to left on me. Oh shit, I hit that too hard. Yeah. There we go. Straight putt from off my putter face, but it sure as hell did. I hit it too hard as well. My wife says that I don't snore often, but when I do, I get my money's worth. Yeah. Cool looking shot here. I knew that was going to be fast. That actually was on me right there. That was my thumb. I was going back and doing something and flicked it instead of went through it. And that is always a sign for disaster on doing that. It was an accidental slip, so that one was all on me. Oh man, this is going to be bad. I got to miss that gulch right there. I'm going to make it bad to worse right here. Am I going to clear it? Am I going to clear it? Whew. Really didn't know that I'd make it that far up there. So, thought I was going to end up back over here in this cabbage and shit. So, we can live with that. Come on, feet. Any other damn time, if I lost that club, that ball's coming straight back down that hill right there. But it sure as fuck didn't right there, did it? Oh, we got another one of these. Man, that's a tougher putt than what it looks like right there. Well, number one, I'm using player clubs and not tour clubs. Second of all, I've just got my swing down. If you watch, my shots really aren't that straight. If I was using tour clubs and not player clubs, I'd have a lot more variance in the cone. But before we start that shit, just let me tell you straight up, I'm using a just plain old stock PS4 controller on the PS4. I don't have anything else going on up here, so I don't need accusations of that bullshit. My putts are always very straight because I don't take my stick all the way back. I just barely pull my stick back. But on my swing, if you watch long enough, you'll realize in a hurry that my shots aren't really that straight, especially when I play with tour clubs. I usually keep them within the cone, but they will vary, and I'm usually a little bit on the right side. I'm not sure, Matt. I got a really late start on doing this today. I had other things I had to get done, so I'm a little bit behind where I want to be. See, I mean, like that's not a straight shot. In player clubs, that's not a that's definitely not a straight shot. It was off to the left, and then my fast swing right there didn't help me. But it was a tough hole. It's a short par five, but this is a tough hole, especially off the tee. With tour clubs, you'd probably bomb it over that little ravine, but you can't reach it with player clubs. See, that's not a straight shot there, man. So I don't know where somebody's trying to tell me that I'm straight shooting, but that right there sounds somebody like somebody that doesn't know me looking for a bone to pick. But you watch my streams long enough, and actually, what? See, now you're making me like watch my cone. I'm like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know where where anybody thinks I'm shooting straight on shit. How many parts you think the challenge series will go? I've got 5 things set up for it right now, but they're going to be spaced way out because I don't want to stack contest after contest after contest. That's too hard on you guys, but I felt like this is a good chance between now and the Invicta, and it's one that I really wanted to. Oh, you're fine, Lions. I'm just saying. I don't know if you follow the TGC Tour forums or not, but there's been a really big controversy going on about straight shooting. There are people that we know for a fact either use Hories or use what's it called, a Titan One, or what's the other one, and run scripts, to hit straight shots. But if you watch my stuff long enough, I'm almost always within the cone. I'm very rarely outside the cone, but I'm not dead straight center either. So I mean, if I was offended by it, you'd know. So don't take it that way. This is just the way I talk, man. Watch my streams long enough, you'll realize this is just the way I speak. If I was actually offended by it, then you'd catch a whole different side of me. But this is the yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of the challenges are not going to have the naming rights in people's names. My next idea on the challenge series is going to be creating a national course for a particular country. Like one will be France, and I will have the name of the French golf course, and then I mean it'll have 10 different countries, and whichever one somebody picks, you actually need to make the course look like it belongs in that country, as well as kind of fit the name that goes along with it. So, but that will be well after the Invicta. That will be between the Invicta and the Showdown. I've got about 5 ideas laid out right now on how to progress this, and I've got ideas that I haven't released yet that I'm going to advance this along. I don't know that I will do a society based on it. I may end up doing just a secondary society kind of based on it, but um, I will have other things going, like that icon that I posted up there. I'm actually going to format to where you guys can put that, in your signatures. Next to courses, I will create logos for like all the ones that are done now. I'm actually going to create a logo and do a block on all of them. So I'm going to do some fun things with it. I just misread that. I was too busy talking. But there's going to be some different things going on with it. As long as you guys stay interested and enjoy it, then I'll keep doing it. If the participation falls off to where I can't fill it out, then I'll let it go. But I actually should have had a birdie on that hole, but I don't mind getting a par based on my drive. But Yeah, I just think it's a fun thing to do on the side in between the bigger contest. The $500 controller, and you never see me hit a bad shot. The problem is you can't play on tour. I mean, if he's just using casual rounds, it's fine. But if it's really affecting his swing that much, he's never going to play on tour because it won't pass the API rating. I can tell you that straight up right now. I like the concept of this hole. I like the look of this hole. I don't like the execution. I don't like taking. I mean, this is a 478 yard par four, man. Over water, nonetheless, on your second shot. Why are you taking driver? You're pretty much taking 3-wood out of my hand right here. I mean, with a 15-mile-an-hour headwind, I'm not going for that, quite obviously. With tour clubs, I would be, hard fit to go for that. With 3-wood right here, I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to try it. I'm not sure I can keep it out of the rough down there. Ah, fuck. I mean, it held, so I can do that. But if you even get a little bit of tailwind right there, you have to start making decisions. I mean, I'm not crazy about the distance and the club idea on this one. That's getting a little bit chintzy. Here come the fast swings. I mean, I was due for it. I was due for it. There's not going to be any getting around it. No, if you place it off to the right, the bridge isn't an issue. It's where I was. I mean, I just take it that's where I hit the ball. It was on me or on whatever this fucking swing's doing now. There we go. 5-footer with the break. Nice. So part of that hole was on my play right there. Once again, however, PS4 is going to render my fucking swing throughout the day. But I'm not a fan of the execution of that hole. It's a neat concept, but the break right there is a little bit too much. It's too limiting on how we play the hole for that distance. If you want to have long holes, it's fine, but don't double punish me, man. Oh, well, we've got a bunker in the middle of our landing spot. Okay. And I'll say this to Lions: one of the reasons I hit fairly straight is that if you ever watch my swing, a lot of times I will hit slow on my backswing. I'm bordering on slow every time on my backswing because I do pause at the top. I'm using a little bit more of my TGC1 swing in that because if I pause a little bit before my downswing, I can hit straighter. So I always take the chance of a slow, perfect swing. But well, you know what? On a par five, I don't mind that back bunker on this one too much because he's making you choose where you do it. Part of this is course management. If you want to go for it, you can go for it, and that's your hazard you can do with it. Nothing's telling you you can't lay up back here. There's nothing at all wrong with laying up back here. I mean, this is a real life thing. I mean, there are courses that play exactly like this in real life that you pick and choose where you're going to find your dangers. You want to play safe? Lay up. You got about a 55, 60 yard pitch into the pin from there. Or if you want to be adventurous and go for it, then try to get your ball up there. So I don't mind this one that much. So see, like I'm going to make the choice to go for it right here, and if I find that bunker, that's on me. If I was playing this in a tour round with these clubs and with this wind and everything else, I would lay it back here and just take my pitch. And but being what it is, I'm going to hope that I can do this and not get a fast downswing. What actually got me there was a slow backswing, but it'll be fine. And I don't mind playing out this bunker on a par 5 either. So, oh, I'd have to go back and look at the fairway bunker. Talking about the one here on the left, or oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah. My bad. So my point stands on the one up there because some people would complain about that bunker in there, and I actually like the bunker on the side of the green up there. But yeah, I agree on this. We're just doing it too much throughout the round. I mean, it seems like every other hole we've got a fairway bunker right in the middle of our landing area, and we're having to pick whether to go left or right. So, um, hit it up in the show thread, Matt, and see what everybody else is up to. I mean, I'm down for it, so I'm going to be playing one way or another. I mean, I'm either going to be getting through streams or we'll do an after dark tomorrow night. That's completely up to you guys. I've also got the season set up for the TGCT After Dark Society. So you guys are welcome to start playing those rounds as of Sunday is when it kicks off. I've got the first 10 events laid in on both PC and PS4. I know Matt is signed up for this society on PS4, but he's not gone back in to actually confirm the acceptance, so he's still showing as pending, but I have approved it. So for all you guys that are looking for a fun society on either PS4 or PC, check out the TGCT After Dark Society. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. And it's not going to be all the tournaments are only going to be 2 rounds. That way, it's not going to be one of those things where you have to grind out 4 rounds there and then do 4 rounds for your TGC tours and all that. So it's set up to be, pretty casual from that aspect. And I'm starting it out with a 250 coin buy-in fee, and I'm paying out 80% in the purse. Once we get the level up a little bit, or I build up enough cash in my bank over here to fully fund it to level 10, then it'll be a 100% purse. So I'll watch it in the background. My team's already played this week. They played last night. So, damn, kid, this is a tough pin position for 225 yards. That is a tough pin position for 225 yards. Yeah, I'm just going to take a chance on letting this stay out here to the side. I might hit that bunker, but I can live with it. Nice, man. I've been looking out for everybody else's shows, but I haven't seen anybody else streaming here lately. I haven't seen you guys running anything. The TGCT Live guys have been off for the last 2 weeks and 3 out of the last 4. I don't know if Scampy made it Monday night or not. And then, of course, Dale stepped back on his and is not running downhill back at me. Okay, so I can actually go at this with a full chip here. So I thought maybe we were starting to die a little bit on that. Nice. Well, I would say for the just for the continuity of my show, to keep your audience and stuff up, I try not to miss too many weeks. Even when stuff pops up, if it's only you, man, just get in and do some courses or something. Just kind of review them and talk about them or play them or just have fun with it. I realize real life comes up. I mean, we all have that, kind of stuff. And I'm definitely never going to be a person that says the show must go on when, shit like that's happening. But you start missing too many weeks and you get people to just quit tuning in. Nah, all I don't know, Matt. I mean, that was my worry. You guys heard me. I'm really not a I told you so kind of person. I'm really not. Um, but it just with all the shit that I took, from people behind the scenes on what I was saying, what I'm saying is panning out. It's exactly the shit that I was talking about. There's things that I like. There are things that I think they made great improvements on that I really dig. And there's things they should have just left the hell alone. And some are just piss poor fucking decisions. But I don't see a point in keeping on with it anymore. I wonder if I can carry over that bunker with a 12-mile-an-hour wind. This might hurt my score, but I'm going to try it. I want to play this and see. Yeah, I saw Wags was back today. I thought that was kind of funny. Man, I'm not gonna clear that. I'm not gonna clear that. Well, a lot of it has to do with the tours, and with the tours coming back, that's going to bring some people, kind of back into the fold. But it's yeah, I'll take the fast on that. I had nope, never had a shot. Yeah, the societies are not what people wanted with it. I mean, they serve a purpose, and I mean they're pretty cool for what they are. But I mean, it is what it is. Yep. Yeah, that was one of the biggest takeaways. Can't change tees, can't change weather conditions, can't change lighting. You just can't optimize your game. Well, I may have hit that too hard. Yep. I thought I might be able to get it to check up right there, but it wasn't going to happen. So this was a well-earned bogey on my part. That's just the way I chose to play it. So not a bad, nothing at all wrong with the hole. I saved par on that. I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, I mean, there's things I really like in the designer. I think the thing that's bugged me the most, the last patch actually helped a little bit, but what has bugged me the most is it's just so fucking slow. There's things that I could do in one that just takes me half the time to do it. I don't like having to bounce my menus all over the place. I prefer the carousel. I mean, it's just certain little tic tac things. Part of that is me being old and set in my ways. That's just the reality of it. I don't mind change, but it needs to be changed for the right reason. Gameplay wise, I mean, I don't hate this game. For as critical as I've been of certain parts of it, I'm also one of the people in the background saying, you know what, give it a chance. They're going to make changes. They're going to improve it. I think one of the differences is that people grew with TGC one. TGC one, they were just a little bitty independent game company that nobody expected anything from, and they turned out the game. And it took about a year and a half. But after about a year and a half, it got to where it was, in the game that we really came to enjoy. Well, TGC two, they already had a bar to meet, and there were expectations put on it that they never had with one. And while I do think they do listen to the community, I think they sometimes didn't listen hard enough with the community. And the fact of the matter is, I've said it all along, and I'll say it again, they released the game 6 months too early. This game should have came out at Christmas. It should have came out at Christmas. It had no reason coming out when it did. But Splines can be hit or miss. I actually don't mind them too much. I still use brushes quite a bit, only because I have a little bit more control over them. The snapping is good in certain cases. Once again, I keep it turned off a lot because I use a lot of corners and everything, and it doesn't work well for that. The advanced edit for objects, I think, is crazy good. I love being able to change the heights, on my bridges and walls and all that. I think it's a really cool addition to it. That's a cool little closing hole here, Patrick. I actually like this hole from the tee. How was that a fast downswing? How in the fuck was that a fast downswing? Well, the patches are going to come in phases, guys. I mean, it's not going to be done, you know, with one stroke. They're going to have to fix some things before they can even start working on other things. That's just the reality of it. So you got to cut them some slack here and there. Let's get over the initial, okay, I'm not cool where this came out at thing, and let's start just sticking in with it, and let's see what happens. That was a fast swing. No doubt about that one on me. That was a fast swing. But the one before that was not fast. You'll never convince me of it. I haven't looked. I've had my own stuff to do today, and I just jumped right in on these. I got to burn through some critiques the next couple of days to keep everything running smoothly. Damn, this is a wicked putt here. Oh, get in. Oh, man, that was almost a great way to close the round out right there. Damn. That was a big damn bender. Shit. Well, all right, Patrick. I know we had like a lot of other stuff to say during your stream here, but that's a good solid course, man. It's one of my favorites that you've done. Just some of the things I pointed out. That one par five, I wasn't a big fan of because of the way it's split. It's just taking too much away from the player and how to play it. I mean, even with the wind in my face right there, I was almost in the rough with 3-wood. So you're going 5-wood, back on it. I mean, it's just, or actually, it wasn't a par five, it's a par four. It's a long damn par four. So it's just overly penalizing from that standpoint. I like your bunker work you did on this one. This is some of the best bunker work you've ever done on a course, and definitely your best edging you've ever done, as far as your shaping and flow on the edges of your fairways and greens. So this is a really good, strong course on it. Definitely a tour course. I can see it being played. Just be careful with sticking your fairway bunkers like right in the landing zone too many times. It, it works here and there, but you just don't want to do it over and over and over again, because then it makes it seem like you're doing it more than what you're actually doing it. But other than that, man, I really like this one, and definitely going to be a course that's going to be on tour, whether it be CC Pro or Web or Euro or a PGA or whatever. I mean, I'd have to play it from the tips to see how it holds up for the upper tours. But I could easily see this being a Web or Euro course in the future, just because the greens have some trick putts to them. That does not mean it's not CC applicable, cool, because I could actually use this on CC Pro without too many complaints. And but all in all, it's a really good course, and very well done. Be interested to see where this one goes with the judging. So other than that, guys, I'm going to kill the stream for about 5 minutes, get this uploaded and exported over to YouTube, and I will be back with another course.